Hey, I'm Spencer with EnergeticCity.ca, and this is the Community Roundup, which is sponsored by Brad's Furniture and Appliances. And I'm joined in the Moose Studio by Connie Greyeyes, who has put together some grief boxes.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
That's good.
I'm well, thank you for having me today.
Absolutely. Sorry we couldn't give you a better chair. We're here today because you have a grief box initiative that you put together. Can you tell me a little bit about what inspired you to make these boxes?
You know, a few months ago I received this Indigenous box in the mail. And when I opened it up, it was like there's this beautiful paper and there was an Indigenous book in there. There was some Indigenous tea. There was an Indigenous designed toque inside and some chocolate. And it was just a really nice gesture to receive this gift from a friend. You can just request them, and then obviously they cost money. But I received this, and later on that afternoon, I was telling another friend that like look at this box that I got, and we started talking about grief, and we started discussing how much loss there had been in the community. And I said, wouldn't that be great if we just did like a grief box and just put some self-care items inside of it and gave it to people that are grieving right now. And she was like, that would be so fabulous. So I ran it by my supervisor and at the Indian Residential School Survivor Society. And I said, I'd really like to do this. And she's like, well, yeah, you should. Why not? Let's do it. And so I put a call out for donations, and I ended up getting a lot of donations, people donating product to put inside the box, and that was just so heartfelt and appreciated.
That's excellent. Now you say it has self-care items. So how many businesses, off the top of your head, and residents and businesses, we're gonna throw them in the same category. How many people reached out to you?
Thus far, we've had the Treaty 8 Tribal Association. We have had Analea's Kitchen, of course. Cass's Kitchen, of course, with her chocolate. We have had regular community members like Laura, one of my good friends, Laura Beamish. She donated. And then I've had people that have said, I just want to contribute something, send $30, and I've gone and gotten a gift card with it. And it's been really awesome, the people that have reached out. Last night, my friend Latoya Orton dropped off homemade bath bombs that her and her daughter made just for these. It's the response has been incredible, and it's so appreciated.
It's really nice to kind of have something like that and then have it to come to fruition. And we're going to open up one of these boxes just to see what's in there.
Sure. So right now we actually are in the process of a lot of them will have traditional medicine that we use for ceremony. This one has a couple items in it so far.
Do you mind just kind of literally unpacking, but also can you tell me kind of the traditional medicines that would be included?
Sure. Right now, what we have in this one is actually bear grease and sage. So the bear grease is a medicine that we use. It's a salve, and it's very helpful for any ailments that you have, joints, sore, and the sage is what we use to smudge with. So I've included those two so far. We also intend on putting cedar and sweetgrass in these. Now, the particular traditional items that you see in this one have been gifted and sent to me to include in these. And of course, in the past I've received like garbage bags filled with sage, and we offer honorariums for those because it takes a lot to harvest it and then to send it. So that's what we have in this one. This one has a sage and bear grease in it.
Nice.
And so those are the two that are included in this one so far.
Okay.
We also have this candle.
That's lovely.
Yeah. So these are self-care items that when we're going through grief, we often forget to take care of ourselves. So that was the idea to put this together. Everybody loves chocolate.
Yep, that's needed
right?
for sure.
This
Self-care,
is chocolate
that's
bark.
top of the list.
This is chocolate bark that was created by Cassandra Ross, and then she donated chocolate. We have some tea. You know, there's nothing like sitting back and having a nice bath with some tea. So we've included that as well. These are homemade bath bombs that are made by Latoya Orton and her daughter. And these are actually, I want to say she said it was rosemary. But they created these specifically for these boxes, and they dropped off like a couple dozen of them. It was so nice. And she dropped it on my porch, and I thought, I think I could hear somebody out there. And she zoomed off, and I just
sped away.
She did. And I was like, hey, try to stop her. So we have this little envelope that has "Thinking of You," and we have gift certificates in there. There's McDonald's. One's a Walmart card. Sararis Murphy actually donated the picture frames, as well as a gift certificate inside to have pictures printed free of charge. So I thought that was really, really nice. You know, that's just something really special. We also intend on including gift certificates from Aunt Leia's Kitchen, as well as Boston Pizza. We're going to have some Walmart gift cards and some for the grocery store, so that if you need something, then you know what, here's a gift, go and get it.
Right.
So we got the picture frames.
For the photo printing, is that for unforgettable memories?
I believe it is. Yeah. Let me take a look. Unforgettable memories, of course.
It's a good local business.
She's so fabulous. I love going to her store. She actually incidentally orders all my chocolate at Christmas, and I order like 25 pounds of each.
That's excellent.
And she's so fabulous. Lynette is great at
I go there because
I
just bought a camera, so I have to buy a bunch of lenses now. So I keep going there and looking at them, and I'm like, ooh, next week.
Yeah.
So you have a frame.
Yes.
So can you tell me what the idea of the frame is?
You know what? Just the whole idea of the grief box is somebody that has lost a loved one that is grieving, and to give them some self-care items to take care of themselves. And the photo frame was an idea of an employee at Sararis Murphy, and he suggested getting these beautiful frames and then getting a gift certificate for them to print off a picture of their loved one and keep it. And I thought it was a beautiful idea. I'm so happy that he suggested it. And that's the idea behind the picture frame and the gift certificate, to have photos printed.
It's a lovely idea.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, So we also have journals that were donated by Treaty Aid along with a pen.
That's a gorgeous book.
It is.
Wow.
And it's to journal your thoughts. A lot of times it's easier to write things down than to actually just verbally say things. So the idea was to be able to write your thoughts down and get that out in some way, right? Mm-hmm. And I really appreciate, these were all donated by the Treaty Aid Travel Association. And so this is just a small look into the boxes thus far. Like I said, we also have pamphlets that we're putting in there for reaching out. Right. To, if somebody is grieving, then numbers to call if you're having a hard time and you need somebody to talk to, a professional, or our organization has elders that you can speak with. We also have youth as well as adult counselors that are available free of charge. And I think that it's really important to establish this. I mean, this is a really great start. All I'm missing right now out of this one is bubble bath and a couple more gift cards and my sweetgrass. And this one will be ready to distribute in the next day. We'll have 20 of them available to start. And I just think it's a really nice way to show people that you care and to reach out, especially during such a hard time when sometimes you can't even get out of bed to cook. I know what that's like to grieve. I've lost many family members myself. And some days it was really hard to get out of bed. And to have this, so many local people and businesses say, hey, you know what, I want to toss this in there. Is it okay? We've also had, my son was in CrossFit, and they had messaged me and said, we have some things that we would like to contribute to your grief boxes. So these are probably just going to get bigger and better. And that was the idea behind it, that it's such a simple gesture to show somebody that you care. And at such a crucial time in their lives, when something so traumatic as the loss of a loved one happens. So That is the grief box thus far.
Thus far. Now you kind of touched on it a little bit, but are you planning on making more kind of other than the 20 that you're in the process of assembling?
Yeah, you know what? I can't see just doing so many and then going, okay, I'm done, because that's just not how I'm built. You know, I have the full support of my organization as well. So, you know, we're contributing a lot of gift cards and things to place inside. And I don't see this actually something that has an end.
Right.
As long as I'm able to do it. Oh, I should mention that Karen Heck from What the Heck is who created these boxes.
They're gorgeous.
I love it. You know, I asked her for something sturdy that people could keep mementos in if they wanted. And so, you know, as long as all of these things keep aligning and falling into place, I can't see there not being a continuation of this. I would really like to have a continuation of it. I have asked the Treaty 8 Tribal Association if we can house the boxes at their organization, and they have graciously agreed. And, you know, I think that this could be something that it should explode across communities. You know, you should want to help your neighbor. You should want to help your community member that's grieving. And I think that it's a really small gesture to show somebody that you're there and that you see them. And you know what? If you need to pick up the phone, call.
Yes. For the numbers that are going to be included, I assume that there's going to be like a 24-hour line.
Yes, there is.
Somebody can access.
We have, like, since the beginning, we've always had a 24-hour access line for mental health issues, drug and alcohol, youth, suicide prevention. Those are going to be included, as well as local numbers. You know, I've been asked a few times, and I think I might as well address it. Are these just for Indigenous people?
I was about to ask you that. Yeah.
And they aren't. You know, I can't draw that line to only caring about a certain population and saying, well, you know what? Hopefully somebody will pick that up for you.
Yeah.
That was never the intent. I think that it's important to keep it open for anybody, because we're all human and we all grieve the same, essentially. You know, maybe not the exact same, but we all go through those stages of grief. And I think that it's important that this is inclusive of everyone. And I really hope that it kicks off. You know, I wouldn't mind if another organization said, "Hey, we'll take it on for a little while," or whatever. You know, I think that it has the potential to really be something huge and be something so meaningful and valuable for communities.
If companies wanted to go ahead and, I mean, I know that you've had a lot of companies and people reach out, but if somebody's still wanting to go ahead and donate items, they just reach out to you.
You know, the more the merrier. The more people that help to donate these, the more that we can distribute them. I've been approached by some of the senior care facilities in Fort St. John. You know, and I just think that you know, we can all work together and create something so beautiful for community members that are going through these tough times.
What's the best way for those companies or residents, individuals that would want to reach you to go ahead and make a donation, or even talk about picking the boxes up for?
Yeah, I have put my work number. My email is also out there on social media, and they can reach me in any of those ways. I think I'm pretty easy to contact. Sometimes I'm so busy that, you know, my phone is ringing off hook, but I do return calls.
Sometimes I feel like I just need to get like a bat signal for you. You'll just give me a shout.
There's just so many things, you know, that I want to do, and I really love the idea of starting something and then having a bunch of people come in and say, hey, we'll help take that on. You know, Sororis right off the bat was like, we're in. And I loved the idea that the gentleman had there with the frames and the picture and the gift card, right, to get the pictures.
It is. I like the addition of the picture frame, because a lot of it is, you know, self-care, take time for you, but it also allows you to remember that person that you are grieving for in a way that's healthy.
Yeah.
And constructive.
Yeah, you know, I know that a lot of people including myself, I had a really hard time looking at pictures of my loved ones, you know, without like just having that really deep heartache. And like you just said, I think that it's a really healthy way to honor them. You know, some of our traditions are that we don't look at the pictures and everything for a certain amount of time, and I get that. But some people don't follow that, and I really think it was a really nice gesture by Solaris to include that.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I also liked what you said a little while back about, a box that you can keep mementos in. Because one thing is that you can take the things that are out of this box, and then you can still have a box that if you need to compartmentalize and you have some things of that loved one that you maybe necessarily can't look at right now.
Yeah.
You can put that in and you can look at it later.
Yeah, I kind of, in a roundabout way, did that for myself as well. You know, I had this really raggedy old shirt that my older brother used to always wear, and he was always wearing like just a plain blue t-shirt, and I had it forever, and I would rip pieces off of it and take it with me and things, and now it's gone because I don't know what happened to it. And if I'd had something like this, I could have put that in there, you know, something that was so special and meant so much, right? That was the idea of the sturdiness of it, and Karen Heck nailed it. You know, like I just think her business is so great. She does custom items, and the feathers hug in a box kind of wasn't. It actually wasn't meant to be that. I was just so busy, and I was just like, yeah, that looks great, right? And then it came, and I was like, that's perfect. Like, it's absolutely perfect. So, you know, some of them will obviously include traditional medicine and everything, and as we get donations in, the boxes, just like the way that they have those Indigenous boxes, they change, and ours will change. But the one thing for sure that I want to make sure is always in there is the frames, the journal, the bath things, the candles, tea. Those are all basic items that I believe need to be in there.
They're universal, yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's for that mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical aspect of being, for everybody, whether or not you believe in traditional medicine and our teachings or not. It's important to make sure you take care of yourself that way, and this is a good way to do it. I've often been asked to help with funerals and things like that, and that was the idea of putting the traditional medicine in.
Right.
Is that I'm often messaged or called, and somebody will say, hey, do you have a lot of sage, or we need a lot of fungus to burn at the ceremony, can you provide that? And I do, and I think that it's fabulous to be able to put them into one box and gift that to somebody. You know, I know that had somebody walked up to me and handed me something like this, I would have opened it and been just like, wow, you know, like I really needed that real heart connection from complete strangers.
Yeah, essentially, this is the community saying, like, you know, we see you and we're here for you.
Yeah.
Which I think is just
and that was the idea.
Such a lovely thing to do.
I often get credit, you know, for all of these things, and you know what? There's not one single thing that I could do without the help of the community and without the help of friends. You know, immediately I had like my good friend Laura's like, I'm going to Lush and I'm going to get, and I don't know if you know what Lush is, but
I know what Lush is.
Right?
I was living in Vancouver before this.
They're beautiful products, and she immediately was like, I'm going to buy a bunch of bath products and that to put in those boxes, and I think it's so wonderful. And of course my organization was like, go get a bunch of gift cards and we'll put them in there. You know, if you want Boston pizza, here's a gift card, call an order, because I know how hard it is to get out of bed and cook.
It's so hard.
Yeah. So
and you know, I think that the numbers being in there as well, because you know, if you're at that point in your stage of grief where you can't get out of bed and you can't cook, you're definitely not going to be, you know, hitting people up on Facebook saying that you're having a hard time.
Yeah.
And, you know, people do check in, but I think that this is kind of more tangible, right? Because it's kind of insinuated that they're there for you, but this is a tangible, we're here for you when you need us.
Yeah. And I love that idea.
It's truly wonderful. If somebody needs to access these boxes or knows of somebody that won't reach out on their own, because some people, you know, we all grieve differently. What is the best way to access these boxes?
The best way is to contact me.
Okay.
Until we have everything down at the Treaty and Tribal Association, the best and easiest way is to contact me, and I will make arrangements for you to pick one up to bring to somebody, or if they're just looking to ask to send to send somebody a grief box, then I certainly wouldn't think twice about taking it myself and delivering it.
Okay.
I think it's nice to come from a friend or somebody that you know.
Yeah.
That's the one thing is just to make sure that it gets there.
Yeah.
You know, that the person that it's intended for receives it and feels that love and support. For
sure. Connie, thank you so much for sharing this with us. Is there anything else you'd like to add today?
You know, I'm often asked, like, how can I help? You know, there's this yearning that some people have, you know, that they're supposed to do something, or that they want to do something. And years ago, when I would have those thoughts come in, I would just be like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna. And now I'm at that point in my life where I'm like, let's just do it and let the chips fall where they may. So if you feel the need that you want to help in some way, or you have something that you would like to add to the boxes, just reach out and do it. You know what? Like, I once took this anthropology class, and it was about it wasn't anthropology. It was like psychology or something, and we talked about donating and giving, and how the question was, do you think that people that do these kinds of things do it for a reason? And the argument was that some said no, they don't, and then our argument was, yeah, they do. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing, but I said, but if you are in the habit of giving and being that kind of person, you get those good feelings, and that is something. You're getting something out of it, and if anything, you know, if you feel like you want to donate 10 candles, do it. The feeling that you get from it is, there's nothing like it, knowing that you are actually helping somebody.
Yeah.
And you know, that always comes to my mind when I'm doing things like this, is like that aspect of it, of what are you getting out of it, and what I get out of it is that good medicine inside. That
yeah, well, you're adding more positivity to the world. Essentially, it doesn't matter if you get some of it; somebody else is getting it too.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. You know, so if you so wish to donate, I encourage you to go and pick something up. What's your favorite thing? You know, I love when Oprah had like my favorite things, and she'd post, like, she'd do a big show, and it would be all the things that she loves, and then she'd give them away, right?
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, and mine is chocolate.
There you go. Mine's a good after eat, actually. Yeah, no, they're delicious. They're not just for after dinner. You can have them before dinner.
Yeah.
For breakfast if you need to.
You can.
There's no judgment when you're in the stages of grief, or you're just living your life and you want an after 8 at 8 a.m. Just do it.
Yeah.
All right.
I agree.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's been lovely.
It's a pleasure as always. I really enjoy talking with you and having some good conversations.
You're going to make me cry. Well, again, thank you so much. If you know somebody that's in need of one, or you need one, please reach out to Connie Greyeyes on Facebook, or her phone. We've posted her phone number in numerous.
It's out there.
Your phone's ringing probably right now. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Connie Greyeyes.
Thank you for having me today.
This has been the Community Roundup, which is sponsored by Brad's Furniture and Appliances. I'm Spencer for EnergeticCity.ca, and thank you so much for watching.
What was that?